Here's everything you need to know that happened to Tesla stock this week, from Cathie Wood buying more Tesla stock to Chicken Genius Singapore doing a U-turn and now also buying Tesla stock and still saying Tesla stock will 10x, to Elon possibly selling Tesla stock. We now know for sure whether he did sell or not sell any Tesla stock. Elon Musk has taken full control of Twitter and now we know where Elon's attention is going. There is so much Twitter drama going on right now. Elon Musk literally got this auto-generated email saying that he has 30 days to take this mandatory course to learn how to manage Twitter. Also, this is breaking news. This is official now that Elon Musk is not the CEO of Twitter. He's the chief twit. No idea who the CEO is. According to Elon Musk, interestingly, there seem to be 10 people managing for every one person coding at Twitter. So, yeah. Elon Musk fired the main management, but that is supposed to result in over $100 million in severance pay. However, they have been fired for cause. So that $100 million maybe is staying at Twitter. There was so much going on this week. We'll quickly go over Rob Maurer from Tesla Daily getting into some disagreement with Troy Tesla, who both of them I greatly respect. So we will get into all of those stories and more. I also shared with all of you guys then would I sell Tesla stock if I did, and 13 mistakes that all-in Tesla stock investors should really avoid making. Let's start here. This is really pretty good news, I would say. Troy Tesla is saying that the first 10,000 units took 108 days to produce. This is when we look at Giga Texas, and the second one took 43 days. So looks like we are having that exponential increase. And based on his calculations, Giga Shanghai reached 20,000 units in exactly 100 days, Giga Texas in 151 days, and Giga Berlin, knowing how effective Germany's bureaucracy is, 187 days. So sit back, relax, and let's go through these main stories of this week. And of course, there were price cuts in China, which have actually a positive effect on the total profits that Tesla is expected to make, because analysts do not count production. Production does not show up in profits, deliveries do, and because Tesla will be exporting less vehicles probably and selling more vehicles to the Chinese market, the inventory could shrink. Therefore, the bottom line for this quarter is likely to be higher than previously expected. The price cuts were announced on Sunday, so on Monday, many of us were expecting the stock to actually do better, but it did not react positively, and that opened speculation for Elon Musk selling Tesla stock, and now we know whether he did sell or no, and we know he did not, which is great news for me, because one thing that I learned on my journey to accumulating over $10 million in net worth is that you have to look at what people do, not so much at what they say. And Elon selling Tesla stock, to me, that would have been a negative sign for the stock overall, but he did not, which gives me more faith in Tesla stock. And more reason to think that Elon was selling that day was because the markets were generally up. Tesla stock was not. And the Twitter deal was set to close on Friday, which it did eventually. And we didn't know exactly where Elon Musk got those extra missing funds, and maybe we won't know for a long time. Troy tweeted that Tesla waited to drop its prices because that would not be good to drop before earnings call, and that they have lost 10,000 orders that were not recoverable. And then Rob Maurer from Tesla Daily tweeted that, please stop presenting your opinions analysis as fact, which was, I think, polite, maybe a little bit direct, but this resulted in Troy blocking Rob. Now, my stance on this is that I don't think Tesla lost any orders. Tesla can export every single car that they make. Now, this could hurt delivery short term, which shows up as lower profits, but those cars will be sold next quarter because every single car that Tesla makes, Tesla sells. Even if it means the inventory in the meantime, meaning vehicles in transit, is a bigger number. Sure, long term, it doesn't matter. It's only a short term issue to analysts. So short term, not good for Tesla stock. Long term, no difference. Gary Black has updated his catalyst list, with $550 still being his price target for the next 6 to 12 months. Chicken Genius Singapore reiterated in one of his latest videos that he will start adding to his Tesla stock position when the stock drops below 180. So between 140 to 180 is where he's planning to add, and that he will only have 20 to 30% of Tesla stock making up his portfolio. So he is no longer planning to hold Tesla stock as his crazy high position, which is used to be as much as 90% before. So now it's going to be down to 20 to 30%, which makes sense. Ken is retired. So if you have, let's say, $6 million and you think that there's a chance that portfolio could shrink down to 3 or even 1 million, you know, you can live a very good life with 6 million, but with 1 million, or even worse, if it drops down to like 500,000, you can't have that same retirement anymore. So it's only natural that Ken would change his position to preservation mode more instead of just accumulating mode with higher risk. Elon tweeted this, sharing with us why he bought Twitter. He says, the reason I acquired Twitter is because it is important to the future of civilization to have a common digital town square where a wide range of beliefs can be debated in a healthy manner without resorting to violence. There is currently great danger that social media will splinter into far right-wing and far left-wing echo chambers that generate more hate and divide our society. Money is not the primary motivation here. Elon Musk simply, which he stated many times before on earnings calls and interviews, that his main objective in his life currently is to maximize that the probability of future is good. Which is also, by the way, one of the reasons why I have a goal to become a billionaire instead of just retiring right now. I want to be useful, and then I will give away most of the money that I will make. This is projections from Gary Black from his future fund. If these projections come true, then Tesla would be generating, if you look at the net income right here, $180 billion per year in net income in the year of 2030. And if Tesla stock price does not change and stays the same, and if it generates this kind of revenue, net income, Tesla's PE ratio would be 5.4. As we know, companies such as GM and Ford roughly trade in this range, including Volkswagen. So if these assumptions are right, basically you can say that the market values Ford and GM the same way that they are valuing Tesla right now. This is how ridiculous the stock market is at this moment, assuming that these projections come true, which is, you know, a big assumption to make for a lot of people. But I'm convinced about Tesla stock. Then we got this very scary report that Meet Kevin shared with us. This is a report from Deutsche Bank. What happens when inflation reaches 8%? As you can see right here, it reached 8% for the US. And in bluish color is 126 observations that happened since 1970, where that did happen. So you can see what their inflation rate was before, and then they hit 8% here. And then this is what happens later. This right here is the current consensus, which is basically saying that what will happen to inflation rate is going to be much more better than basically the base case scenarios in the last 50 years based on 126 observations. So this is what the experts are saying. I'm not sure if I would believe the experts. I would tend to look at maybe the best possible outcome here, and this is what I would be guessing. However, I made a video how this affects Tesla. You should watch it. It's a good video. It's called Overlooked. This will obliterate Tesla's competition. Pretty good. Cathie Wood bought more Tesla stock, which reaffirms her great commitment to believing that Tesla stock is still the best investment. Because generally for a fund to buy more stock, they have to sell something else, which means they like that stock, which in this case is Tesla, better than whatever they sold. And this is the single biggest reason why I believe Cathie Wood is buying Tesla stock. I broke more reasons why, but this is the main one. Is this right here. Look at this chart and tell me, based on this chart. Now, of course, these are simulations. Okay, this is not guarantee or anything. But based on this chart, if we just assume that this chart is right, what is the percentage, the chance that FSD will not be sold by the year 2029? If you would assume it's 0%. In other words, based on this chart, which this is just a chart, but this is a chart from ARK Invest, and who's in charge of ARK Invest? Cathie Wood. So I would interpret this that basically she believes this. This is my take on this. So in other words, according to this, there's a 100% chance that full self-driving is going to be solved before the year of 2029. Or in other words, for example, there's a 98% chance that it will be solved by the year 2028. I shared with everyone, then would I sell Tesla stock? The conclusion of that really, most likely, my intention is to hold Tesla stock for a long time, which means probably until at least 2030. Now, there are a few instances where I would sell before then, and I go over those. One that I didn't really mention is for example, if Elon Musk sells all of his Tesla stock, I would find that as a very bad sign. I would change my complete valuation of Tesla. I would just assume that they would just scale their existing technology and that they would stop innovating, sort of like what Apple is doing, which has been great for Apple's valuation, by the way. So this doesn't mean I would sell. It just means I would seriously consider. But the main reason why I would sell earlier is if I have any strong reason to believe that Tesla will no longer solve full self-driving basically ever, I would sell my Tesla stock. But my conviction is extremely high that Tesla will solve full self-driving. Even if I imagine a bad case scenario where Tesla is not the first one to solve full self-driving, but they're like, let's say number 3, number 4, number 5, they would still be able to put full self-driving on their current cars, which most of them do not have full self-driving, by the way. So that's like an immediate big increase in profits because you're upgrading your whole fleet immediately. This is that spreadsheet from Gary Black again, and this does not include robotaxis, by the way, or insurance, or robots. So this is why I am comfortable holding Tesla stock, even if in the unlikely case full self-driving would not be sold, we could be expecting crazy high net income, and full self-driving would just take it to a completely different level. And keep in mind, this is based on 5.4 PE ratio, which I think it would be higher, I think. So in my bear case, Tesla stock outperforms S&P 500 base case for the next 10 years, which is why I only hold Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. Which brings me to the next fact. Usually selling Tesla stock, even if you sell it at a profit, at first it appears great. I mean, it looks like you made a great decision, and then your decision ages not so well looking at the past. So I'm not planning to sell any Tesla stock. Not really. That would be not a good idea. Based on my calculations, holding Tesla stock is going to age sort of like this. Looking back, I think I'll be pretty happy. And of course, we have to talk about this. I shared a warning to all Tesla stock investors this week because earlier this week I made a video then Department of Justice, we found out that they have a criminal probe ongoing looking into Tesla. And then the next day, basically, SEC also announces, we find out that there's another investigation also because of his full self-driving and autopilot supposedly not being safe. And this seems to me very weird. Like the timing, it's with Elon Musk taking control of Twitter, this just seems like there's going to be a lot more. If you thought there was a lot of FUD before for Tesla stock, and you know, we retail Tesla stock investors, we can hold our ground. But I think there's a good chance we haven't seen anything big yet compared to what we will see. Possibly because Elon Musk is now the kingmaker. He can let all of the banned people back on Twitter, which gives him a lot more reach. So this is direct political power that Elon is now holding in his hands. So one side, of course, might defend him, but he will upset both sides. So that's guaranteed. He will upset both extremes. No question about that. So there's going to be a lot of pushback, possibly, hopefully not. Although Tesla stock short-term dropping lower, I would actually be, this is for my selfish reasons only, because I'm still accumulating Tesla stock, and by the end of this year, it looks like I will put about $1 million more into Tesla stock, and if things go badly, it's going to be at least a few $100,000 more. So this I only see as a short-term problem, but volatility for Tesla stock could increase by a lot, unfortunately. Hopefully, maybe this doesn't happen. And I would hope that Elon would just take all of his attention, mostly put that on Tesla. And these stories, by the way, there's nothing in them. Just like there's nothing on my desktop. There's nothing in those stories. It just, I mean, those investigations have been going on for like a year and we haven't found anything. And the DOJ criminal probe, meaning someone could go to jail if they find anything bad that management at Tesla did, which I don't think they're going to find anything, by the way. But actually, perhaps the biggest story, which I haven't even mentioned yet in the video, is the $1 trillion buyback for Tesla stock that has been proposed. Watch this video right now about that $1 trillion buyback for Tesla stock. My name is Matt Postius, reporting to you from Vancouver, Canada. It's the weekend today, so no tie. I'll see you later today. Thank you.